Whoa, BMore4Real in the building on a Friday for the first time ever. I mean, it's the first time for everything. You said everything? You said everything? Everything. Oh my goodness. BMore4Real. We're gonna go ahead and clap it up for us.
It is for a special reason.
Uh-oh, you hear that doorbell, man. We got a special guest.
A special
How y'all feeling?
reason.
We got a special guest. We got a special guest for real.
So if it's a special reason, you know BMore is for real and we are here.
BMore4Real podcast brought to you by way of Real Explosion. Man, keep it locked with us. We got you covered. I am your co-host, OMG Deion.
I am Uncle Wayne.
And I'm BigDawg Deion. How you doing today?
BigDawg Deion.
Say it again, y'all. One more time.
BigDawg Deion.
BigDawg Deion in the building, man. What a pleasure to have you on the cast, man. You look cool and smooth, like a smooth criminal, man.
We did.
I'm telling you, man. Sade must have wrote that song about you. You heard me. That's crazy. Smooth operator.
Actually, I got a flip. It's called Kiss on Me. It's a Sade flip called Smooth Operator.
I
bet.
bet.
My first EP I did with a producer called Basement Sam out of Rockville called Villain Art. It's with Matt Miyagi. I want y'all to check that out.
Where can I find it?
That's on all streaming platforms. SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify. And the links is in all my bios, by the way. And that's BigDawg, Deion like Sanders, and DAWG as in dog.
See,
Man.
That's why we told you was special.
You ain't waste no time just...
Tell them a little about yourself.
You ain't waste no time telling them about yourself.
Special Friday night while we're here.
I just felt like that was a great segue. I watch a lot of podcasts, so I was like, that's a great little spot to plug it in.
It was awesome.
I'm BigDawg Deion. I'm from out of Baltimore. I've been doing music for about 8 years. I started it seriously after I graduated college, but I've been recording myself after high school and working up the ranks through the music scene in Baltimore. I really first started wanting to record. I tried to record myself off of Fruit Loop Studios. That didn't work, so I knew I had to get a team. So then I tried to go to the south side of Baltimore to Deep Flow Studio. Shout out to Emotion and everybody over there. And that's where I met my first engineer. And then it's been me working and taking different steps to become an artist and developing an artist pretty much since then. And I do a lot of different stuff and combine it together. So I actually got a degree in public health, community health, and I feel like that goes hand in hand with the messages that I send in the song and the impact that I'm trying to leave with the music, pretty much as a synopsis.
Absolutely. Hold on, we gotta clap that up for the brother, man. Let's go.
Because in Baltimore, we look so past our black brothers. And me as Uncle Wayne, I'm telling you, I love when black brothers doing well. And we don't promote each other.
Right.
Negativity, we do well at promoting.
Right. Absolutely.
Positivity, we don't. We not finished. We here tonight because we gonna finish this through. You having something this weekend, right?
Yes.
Aren't you?
It's tomorrow. It's the second showcase, and shout out to the Real Explosion and everybody here in this building. It's like a family because even when I met you, so willing to work with us. Like you said, we highlight the negativity, but I want to highlight the positivity. Danny helped me out a lot as well. We got the other Mr. Wayne back there. So it's a family affair to really that's really uplifted. Tomorrow I have an artist showcase / networking event on the east side of Baltimore, Radicke Avenue. It was supposed to be initially at Belvedere, but it moved to Radicke. It's still in support and in collab with the BMore4Real podcast, and that's what we pushing. But the first one was a banger. I had about 40 artists on the lineup. This time I got about 20 because it's a little bit more intimate space, but they're going to have more time to really showcase their talents as well. But it's always a good time. I got a coalition DJ as DJ ICV, DJing the event. people who own studios downtown with Digital Impact. Shout out to Leon down there. It might be, Uncle Wayne might stop through. Like everybody that's important that comes in that
Be
room.
more for real.
Be more for real, man.
And what's more important about this showcase is not just the open mic. I see a lot of people try to get the open mic. And
Hold on, you said what's more important about
this event?
About what you're doing, okay.
Tomorrow is, I want to say, the intention behind the event, to slow it down, is that it's not just another open mic, but also like trying to find your tribe. As an artist, usually I got to go to like DC or somewhere else to try to get on the open mic consistently. So just trying to have an open mic here, impactful open mic where people can basically share ideas and build from that, showcase their talents, get some videos for their portfolio, and really get their tribe. Because after the night, we still gonna support you afterwards with all the videos and all the music that you drop. So that's what I really try to emphasize more than just, you paying and coming to perform in front of an audience. You really get the bang for your buck moving forward.
Come join the family.
Absolutely,
Come
man.
join
Absolutely.
the family.
Absolutely.
Not just for a night. Join.
Yeah.
So you can continue. See, this is what I'm saying. Bring the family in, so it won't just be a night, and then you all can continue to grow.
Right.
Because everybody need a support system.
Yeah.
And in this journey of entertainment, you do, because it's so cutthroat.
Right.
It is. You, like I said, I got the hall rental up there. I see it. It's so cutthroat. And I don't know why, but together you all could get through.
Right.
For real. Be more for real. Yo, you know what? A lot of people see the outcome, but they don't see the input.
Oh, for sure.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
that hard work.
It's crazy to say like what you see could be easy. You know what I'm saying? It's like anybody can do it, but anybody hasn't done it. What you're doing, it really hasn't been done. So like, what are some type of challenges that you have faced throughout the course of your endeavors going through this route, and how does that impact you personally, and financially? How does that impact you on a family standpoint and your relationship standpoint? Like, what kind of struggles have you faced?
Okay, so just as artists in general, or as like a showcase promoter, just everything I've been
and
doing.
See, look, that's a general statement, because you had to know both, and that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. People don't understand. People see the outcome, but they never see the input. They never ever see it. So shed us some light on some of the obstacles that you have faced. You know what I'm saying? During the course of your endeavors.
I think that's a great question, and there's a lot of obstacles when you're trying to start. I guess the first one is financial barrier and really understanding how to work the financial system, right? Because as an artist, you got to pay for the videographer, you got to pay for the producer, you got to pay for some studio time. Then you got to try to pay for, nowadays you got to pay for promotion, for ads, just for people to see you on the thing. So that's financial. But what I learned, and my advice to new people is always a way. It's always creativities and a way to brand yourself, and that's how you're gonna break through, being innovative, because everybody gonna try to do the same thing and have money that way. So that was one way I got over that particular challenge. The other challenge is when you local, it's so cutthroat, so it's really hard to find your tribe. It took me about 8 years to find y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's a whole lot of backstabbing, people that's not even gonna say backstabbing, but don't have the same drive or the same vision. And that can slow you down, and a learning curve of figuring out who the right people, how to keep moving, you know what I'm saying, and finding your right tribe and doing things the right way. Like when I first started, I might have paid a lot of money for a video. Now I know I only need to pay this much for the video. You know what I'm saying? Or if I throw an event, I already know to pay this much for security. So it's all trials and errors until you become like a well-developed artist. And then one thing I really want to touch on was you were saying like family and friends is like you have to prove yourself why like that you're an artist. Everybody want to be an artist, so it's kind of hard to get that attention at first. Like everybody like, all right, yeah, you rap, you make music, so you gotta keep shaking the cage, keep shaking it till they see it. And now that's kind of where the point I'm at. Like, okay, he really an artist now. Like he ain't never going nowhere. And then getting them to understand how passionate you are about it. Like when you first starting to throw shows or do music,
that word,
passionate. Yeah, they don't understand it. So it's really trying to convey like this is me for the long run. You know what I mean? Like this is what I want to do. and then getting to that point where it's like, if you do or do not support me, this is what I want to do, and I got that comfortability to where it's like, this is what I want to. I'm convinced in life, like I want to pursue this. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's, I know I talked a lot, but that was a loaded question. So
No, it was.
Yeah.
It's a dynamic.
Because if you said it short, it wasn't real. Your
Right.
passion has got to be explained.
Yeah.
Listen, if in order for you to get this to them, you have got to get it out.
Right.
Get it, because they're so quick to say, "Oh, I want to be this,"
Yeah.
and soon as the quickest thing challenge come to them, they give up
Right.
because they don't have the passion to get through.
Yeah.
You know, this is not easy. You know, that's why I say you got to let them know all those things need to be done. And each thing you said is a challenge. Everything you said you need, it's a challenge.
For real.
Soon as you bring that person up or that entity up, you have to deal with them.
Right.
And each entity is a challenge.
Right.
So do you give up on each challenge?
I'm trying to tell you, and it's a whole bunch of different things.
It's
like
a
you
role.
might be locked in with an engineer, and then you gotta go find a whole nother engineer to get your sound. That might set you back. That happened to me this year as well. And just rolling with the punches. You never know how it's gonna go. But I think the word is adaptability, honestly, because you gotta have work-life balance.
deep.
Like as you go up in life, you might have kids. It's like, yo, you gotta figure out how to make it to these podcasts, make it to these shows, make it to studio time, drop music on the basis, get money to fund yourself if that's what you really want to do. There's really no excuses, honestly. So yeah.
Absolutely. We gonna go ahead and clap that up real quick. Absolutely. Also, out of all those challenges, what would you say is the biggest challenge to overcome?
I think the biggest one to overcome is just settling in, honestly. Like everything's gonna be chaotic when you're trying to come up. I just said all those things together, but just understanding that you gotta settle in and finding your formula. And I think that's the biggest challenge out of everything I said. Because finding your particular formula is not easy. Like you said, people give up early on it. They don't go through the whole process of it. So once you find your formula, where I feel like I'm at right now, everything starts to make sense. So just getting through that learning curve in the beginning and finding that formula. And I think that's in any field. You know what I'm saying? Like you could start a new class or something and you don't have that formula yet, and now you're struggling. But once you find that formula, whether it be math or whatever, you start to make things connect a little bit more easier as you mature in it. So that's my answer.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's a deep one. That's a deep one right there. And this BMore4Real. So, when this entertainment industry, when you're dealing with the entertainment industry, there's a lot of bad blood. There's a lot of hidden animosity that goes on. You know what I'm saying? Can you say how and then there's a lot of like backstabbing, a lot of like people trying to climb up the ladder and things like that. So what is your route that you particularly take on that? Because a lot of people would say that, that's the way to make it in the industry. So what say you on that stance?
That's a great question. I think it's definitely like in this industry, what Q-Tip said, like rule 180 industry people are shady. So it's like, I think that's the nature of it. And I think it's the powers of being like, it's systematic. Like you get more money for being a backstabber, being slimy. But I do see that it's more of a moral or impact value when you do good business. You're not slimy, right? So pretty much I had somebody on a podcast named MVR Dev say that my showcase is the favorite showcase that pretty much that he went to. So that's just showing that pretty much when you do good business, people refer you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what's being missed out now is that people don't refer you. And what I learned, it took me some time to mature like that. Because before I'm like, I don't know why everybody don't want to help out. I don't know why everybody's like this. But you have to be the change that you want to see, right? So like once you bite me, I just gotta let that go because I know I can be a bigger blessing to somebody else. I can't get stuck on you because I know that God done put me through too many things and too many problems to me be stressing over your problem because I know that I can just keep going and I'm gonna keep getting blessed. And that happens all the time where I just gotta chalk something up to the game. And I really put the blame on myself because I put myself in that position to trust you. I just can't fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you, or whatever the thing is, how it go. But real. I can't other way around. You
I feel what you said.
You feel what I'm saying? So like, just don't get fooled twice. Pretty much. I sound like what's his name? Bush.
George Bush.
On that thing.
George Bush.
As he was thinking, as he was saying, I
Fool me
get
once,
that,
can't put the shame on me. I love that snippet.
Now, I'm not gonna allow you to do it, but if it happens again, I'm the dummy because I allow you
Pretty
to get
much.
me again. But see, I can feel what you're saying because but we have got to teach. Our problem is we don't teach because once we learn, we were like, oh well, you got to get it because we've been stung so much on that journey. You see, on our journey, we've been stung so much, and we've been stung by some of the people closest to us. And when we get to that level, we're like, oh well, forget it. You got to learn on your own. See?
It do get to that point. That's probably a challenge of that mindset because it's always like I can move on, but after a while you get so many bee stings, your arms swell up. You can't even pick it up to try to shake somebody's hand.
Boom, bang.
So, but I think it take a real man, and I think that's what real change is. You know what I'm saying? Like when I look at pacifists or the great pacifists of their time, like the Gandhis or the MLKs, you got to take a beating to really show change. Because it's two sides of the spectrums. It's really opposing force, and it's really taking that beat and then really showing that it's another way. And I think I'm on that other side. You know,
hey brother, I had to get that to you.
So while you on the subject of Gandhi and Martin Luther King and influencers, who is your greatest influence, and what is your greatest motivation that's pushing you?
The great question, sir.
I want to say community is my greatest influence. Like just making sure that the overall health is. I won't say that is one person in particular. Of course, I have role models and figures that I looked at and draw inspiration from. Whether it's Bob Marley when he did the One Love concert and he brought his community together through music, stuff like that, or just even seeing like DMX look like a sea full of people. Because I feel like music can connect them. So I feel like I got a lot of musical influences, but I take influence from everybody. Mom Dukes, you know, my girl, anybody, y'all. Y'all got a successful podcast. Like people right now, what people don't understand is that we really be living the dream. Even if you striving for your dream, you live in your dream. It don't matter if you're at the top of the game or the bottom of your game. So just for me to be on the BMore4Real podcast is major. Like I'm living my dream. I'm doing podcasts.
BMore4Real.
BMore4Real.
Yes, sir. It's all good, man. It's all love.
Throw the foes up.
Love.
Yeah, so
it's all love.
That's pretty much what I'm saying. Like you live in your dream. So I'm influenced by everybody that's striving to do what they want to do. That's what Dog Pack Entertainment is about. Is
you learn.
Yeah.
See, that's what makes you wise because you learn. Some of us are so ignorant we think we know it all. That's why we don't learn. You can't be taught, then you can't learn.
Right.
And some of them are too young to be that way, to know it all. I guess because some of you all been through so much.
It's the trauma. I'm trying to tell you. Like,
and then to be so young to lose so many. This the part that people don't seem to understand. Some of you all have been through so much. And how can you all lose so many so young? Do you see the trauma you've been through? And then what you've been through. Some of the average young black men, if you sit down and talk to them and see what they've been through, you'd be like, OMG, how are you still ticking? But you do.
Every time. Yeah.
So, that's what I'm saying. You stop underestimating. You better stop underestimating. But we still being measured off a piece of paper that the white people created to measure how intelligent we are.
Right.
We can't be measured. Sorry, that's the true fact. So all I'm saying is keep doing what you're doing, y'all.
For real, man. We respect what you're doing, man.
Same, likewise.
And I'm glad you brought that up because, so many times people get forgotten in the work that they do. Yeah. But this is the reason why you on the podcast is because you put in the work. You know what I'm saying? You ringing bells. Whether somebody want to acknowledge it or not, you making moves. You got motion out there. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And for you to have that motion and put everything on your back. And, shout out my man Valo. He was one of the first guests on our podcast. He really was.
Shout out Valo.
Him and Corey, big brother Corey, they probably was the first guest on our podcast. So, shout out Valo, DJ ICV, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is, what time it is. like what y'all got going on it's like a symphony. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got some people that play the strings, some people that play the percussion. You know what I'm saying? Some people that play the harp. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's still strings, but you know whatever,
Yeah, just cool.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like
We
a
get the
symphony.
point. We get the point.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a symphony of and it's well orchestrated, and that's why I say symphony because it's orchestrated with a few individuals that's making things happen. And one of the things I like to stress is like the more people that's involved, the less marketing you gotta do as well.
For real.
You know, when you have a coalition,
Mm-hmm.
then you know what I'm saying you can make a lot of things happen.
Right.
So real.
Shout out to that. So who would you like to? How can we support you? How can we follow you? Who would you like to shout out? I mean, it's your time.
So
Let them know.
I got a lot to say. So I just dropped a new
Say
single.
it.
But I want to segue and just keep the conversation flowing the right way. You gave a shout out to Vilo. Vilo's really a big part of the fire started under me. Already had a lot of this stuff going, but his brain, like he really thinks of unique ways to market and look out. He's also my official DJ now. So he's a big part of the team and really part of the tribe I've been looking for. Like I said, I've been doing it for 8 years and trying different squads. I feel like, and I finally feel like, okay, I got at least one person that I can make some moves with, and he's like-minded, and we moving in the same direction, and it has worked wonders. I've been on Coalition DJs, won the competition, and got a service pack through that as well. Just different opportunities.
Oh, what? What is that?
It's a service pack with through the DJ. So Coalition DJs, and shout out to Coalition DJs. They show so much
Shout
love.
out. Let's give them a round of applause real quick. You know they want to hear that. Let's give them a round of applause and all that.
Got you. So pretty much they host events and pretty like showcases how I do pretty much. But there's a group of DJs that vote on the best performances and the best songs to market and to spin pretty much on their radio stations and when they do clubs and stuff like that. If you got your business right with a pro organization like ASCAP, you can get your money every time you perform or every time they spin the record. So you get that connected, you get a song going through there. And if you get a service pack, I think you gotta be voted in the top 3. They spin your music in different markets, and they're in not just the DMV, but like Houston, Atlanta, and stuff like that. So I like every opportunity for music to be spun, especially if it's mine.
I mean, shout out Vilo, but I mean, for you to have the brains to facilitate a lot of the process.
The more I talk to him,
it's an attribute to you. That's why I say you gotta get your flowers, bro.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, we gonna
appreciate
clap it up. You gotta get your flowers, man.
This is why I say sometimes we miss the main thing. Listen, he was in the studio. We saw him back and forth, performed here. We had guests here. The more I talk to him, the more I say, OMG, why we haven't interviewed him? That's why I said, listen, we could do a special. We could do a special and get him on here. And look, the more we see him and interview him, the more interesting he get. This is what we talk about, being interested young black men in Baltimore. Get it? Right in our face.
BMore4Real, man. What you
BMore4Real.
real explosion. It's just a wonderful time to be alive. You know what I'm saying? And what you have going on makes us even more inspired. You know what I'm saying? Especially as black men. Especially as black men. You know what I'm saying? At a time where, the conversation is iffy, where there are challenges. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we don't get enough recognition, we have to bring you up on here. We have to be like, bro, big dog, not the little one. BigDawg, not the little one. Deion is in the building, man. For real. Yeah. Seriously, it's definitely a pleasure. So if you could give people some advice or the biggest inspirational gift that you could give them, what would you tell them?
How are you feeling?
The biggest advice I gotta tell them is just keep being you, and when you're going through the storm, like you're not gonna be able to see that end result, but just know it's all worth it. Like know every backstab, every lesson is really worth it when it comes down to it, because it be full circle moments when I look like, oh, God put me through this, that, and this, so that I can learn how to do that. But you ain't gonna learn how to do that unless you get out and do that and be yourself uniquely. So be yourself uniquely, go through the storm, get your formula. That's right.
And the brother makes all kind of sense in the world. You understand? You all better pay attention. You wake up miserable because you're not paying attention. You better pay attention. Brother, it has been a 100% pleasure. Once again, tell us more about what's going on Saturday.
Tell us where we can follow you, everything. Shout
Got
out
you.
everybody. This is your time.
So I'm gonna jump a few places. Tomorrow's the most important thing is a showcase at 6096 Radicke Avenue. It's the second showcase. We got some dope artists on the lined up, food vendors. It's gonna be a great show. Come through. I'm performing myself, big special performance, and it's DJ by the Coalition DJ ICV. I got a new song out called Order, produced by Michael Blaze. And once again, finding your tribe is important because Valo pretty much put me with this producer.
Right.
So he's doing big. He's doing big numbers with my other artists on Dog Pack Entertainment, which is my brand with Benslow. They're doing good on SoundCloud, so shout out to them. And pretty much you can find me on all platforms at BigDawgDeion. My link tree is pretty well updated. If you go to link our bio, I got new Dog Pack merch. There's a shirt for the event tomorrow if you want to have your Dog Pack logo on, if you want to support me that way. All my links is there. YouTube is going crazy right now. Support a video. And I got a mic drop with High Low Studios. He came all the way from LA to shoot a mic drop with me at the skate park. So it's doing well on YouTube right now. So I just want to shout him out. But that's about it.
That's what.
So you a skater
that's
too?
about it.
I wouldn't say I'm a skater, but I'm gonna shout out my other thing. And so my artist Benslow.
I seen your video, by the way. You know what I'm saying? With the skate.
When I skate, you see how I felt?
Yeah, I was like, I said, bro.
I gotta show
I
you.
seen the video. I said,
So
yo,
I mean, I can casually skate, but I got work in the morning. I ain't trying. I learned later. But my homeboy has a skating brand called Sight Skateboards. It's a skating / streetwear brand. I think it's pretty big. I love the clothing. I love the skateboards. He has a skateboard team, and it's black owned. I usually rep it. I'm like an ambassador for it. So that's why I got into it, because I support my friends whatever they do. If they were selling trash cans, I'm gonna buy a trash can. So
Absolutely.
I don't even skateboard, so I bought a
That's what's
skateboard
up.
and learned a little bit because he was selling it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Unless they have horrible customer service
Oh,
skills. Now that's a different story.
yeah, make sure that you got good customer service, you people
Respect your
skills.
customers. That's it. That's the thing.
And I mean, like we've always been saying, because the biggest thing for me is that a lot of times we don't support black men, and on any platform that we have, it's BMore4Real. I would like to bring that to the attention of people, because so often it's like when you rap, especially as a black man and all this stuff, it's like, oh, I don't want to hear your mixtape. It shuts you down. They don't want to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to help with what you got going on. And a lot of times it's the people that's closest to you, because those are the only people that you reaching out to first. These are people that you know. You know what I'm saying? You're not reaching out to strangers. So it's real important to get behind people. And, it creates an environment when you get older, right? And it's a perpetual cycle. Because then when you get older and you grow and you mature in your talent and you start developing and making money, now everybody your mother freaking cousin. You feel what I'm saying? And they got their hand out like yo, I've been there since day one. And it's like, no. And then they be like, oh, he got money, now he acting funny. It's the same cycle that repeat over and over. We have to support our people from the ground up.
Early on.
Don't get in when the getting get good. Get in before all of it get in its motion, because then you're gonna get caught up in the wave and you're gonna get caught up in the hype, and you're gonna be just like the rest of the groupies, just swept away. You know what I'm saying? Like, really support the black men, support the black businesses, period. Support black businesses, period, but especially support black men. I'm gonna clap that up as well.
That's why I'm saying I could applaud you. My arms wasn't long enough. Absolutely. Like I said, I'm Uncle Wayne. I'm 61. I'm telling you, that's what we need. We need love. We need unconditional love ourselves so we can move on up.
Got you. Y'all mind if I ask y'all some questions?
Absolutely.
No, go ahead.
All right. So y'all been Baltimoreans for y'all life. So I just want to ask y'all what y'all think or what y'all want to see different in the community. What is the biggest need that you think needs to be addressed for it to be like a domino effect of good things to happen?
Well, for me, some good paying jobs.
Got you.
I think good paying jobs will change the whole dynamic of Baltimore City.
Okay.
Well paying jobs.
Got you.
My biggest thing for me, I think it takes literacy. It takes simple literacy and competency.
Got you.
We have, like I was talking about on the last show, we have like a socio-economical illiteracy. You know what I'm saying? We're not financially or socially literate. There are other cultures of people that came over here after we have came over here and still are doing things. So as
Man.
long as we don't pay attention to that and how they move, see, I'm gonna type like this. You ask me a question, so I'm gonna get deep. It's be more for real. Look,
Yeah.
why reinvent the wheel? If family is the way they made it happen, and we had a show a few weeks ago called Nepotism, and they would, you know what I'm saying? Like, if family is the way that make it happen, and the dollar is really trading between us and it don't leave the community immediately, we'll be well off. But see, what happens is, and these are facts we need to understand statistically as black people, is that, once the dollar bill lasts 6 hours in the black community, that means that you get paid and then you pay your bills and then the money go elsewhere. But other cultures of people actually don't operate like that. And if we understand, and we can't even live like that. It's like we all need our own thing and our own thing. Like, why can't we all live together? Why can't it be two families in a household? Like, we ain't think about simple stuff like that that's holding us back because we keep on trying to keep up with the Joneses. We the main consumer. We keep trying to look rich without actually being rich. You got $1,000 outfit on, but you don't got $100 in your pocket. That's the problem. Financial literacy, social literacy.
Yeah.
So the social economic literacy of black people is the reason why we are stuck in this conundrum.
I think y'all both smacked them answers like right on the head, honestly. And that was my whole point of making the showcase, right? Because if we come together, right, we can be bigger. That's why I went to go grab BMore4Real podcast, right? Because I want to either get y'all graphic and put it on the screens in there, or get y'all banner and really be promoting it the whole night. Because together it strengthens numbers as well. So, like you said, just coming together. And there's a lot of systematic things and reasons why, and history why, and things in place why we can't get together like that. But I do see it in other cultures. Like, they can come over here, set up a marketplace pretty much, or an area where they live at, build their own ecosystem, and I see it all the time. And they come here
Mm-hmm.
with like less money and stuff like that, and we
Mm-hmm.
literally built the nation. So
Mm-hmm.
it's I think it's our job to educate, because I do feel like it's a literacy problem as well. As far as jobs, you need to be able to get paid to save and do
Mm-hmm.
different things and invest
Mm-hmm.
in land and do other stuff, right? But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, you're gonna need that literacy when you get that money
Mm-hmm.
to know not to go buy Fendi belt before you got
Mm-hmm.
this. You know what I'm saying to that? But it's just all about, I'm trying to figure out how to get people to receive the message so much, because everybody we all be in certain ways, and everybody be so hard headed. And to be more transparent, what I do on the job basis is I'm like a community educator. So it's just like trying to get people to open their minds up, because no matter what you try and do, if it's good for them, it seems like they don't want to listen.
That's the part. Can you explain more? Because you got a 9 to 5 too.
Right.
Explain that one.
So yeah, so I went to school for public health. I landed a job as a community health educator, pretty much, and I was working as a community health advocate, and that kind of opened my minds up to all the different things and all the different organizations in Baltimore, seeing how much money we got, and seeing that things never changed. Because beforehand, I felt like I was illiterate. I didn't know why the city never improved. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why I never seen things around me change. And once I
Mm-hmm.
got in position to see, oh, they get money allocated for this, they just don't spend it. I hope the
Right.
powers that
Mm-hmm.
be don't get, you know what I'm saying,
Right,
stuff
right,
like that.
right.
But at the same time, like that's what I do. But also, just if it was my job to help people out with their daily social needs and stuff like that as well. So just trying to help people figure out from day to day. It'd be hard sometimes. Like, you have this problem, and if you just knew to do this, you would go up this way, but you just can't see, like you were saying earlier, you so angry, you so miserable, or whatever the thing is, you just can't get it to click. So me just trying to figure out how to make things more receptive, because I think about the city as a whole, and it's trying to tell everybody all this, and they can't really worry about that if food ain't on the table. They can't even think
Right.
about the bigger picture. But that's what I'm
Right.
trying to figure out, how to make things like
Right.
easier for people
And
to
I
receive.
think that might be the biggest
Yeah.
subliminal subconscious struggle with success with a lot of people. It's like, what are my wants versus my needs? Like,
Yeah.
I want to be a singer, musician, or whatever talent that I have. Like, I want to be this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I gotta work a 9 to 5 and
Just to
pay bills.
just
You
to
know
go
what I'm
to
saying? Just
sleep.
to eat.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you walk and balance that delicate line? And what's fascinating to me, Like it's BMore4Real. We really gonna have a conversation every time. Like
Be more for real.
when you go to school and you go to college, straight out of college and schools and stuff, they request these people to have 5 years experience before you even get a job. So like, how does that work? Like, can we stop the foolishness? Can we stop it in its tracks? Like, I don't know what they doing to distract us from getting this stuff cleared up, but this stuff don't make no goddamn sense.
But
there's no way in the world that they should be having those type of standards, knowing that most people are coming out of college. Everybody else that aged themselves out. So how do you get the new people in? And you create, excuse me, they create smaller and smaller jobs, which are also being phased out by AI technology and all that stuff. They're comfortable with that. One example of that would be the postal office that they just shut down. It's not like I said, it's not like they downsizing it, but they still fired 500 employees, which means they're gonna have a lot more technology in there doing other people's jobs. So stuff like this is on the table, and we don't talk about this stuff. But what's for real is that when you got a talent, man, you got to go out there and see what your talent got for you. If you don't never, ever go out here and try to work on your talent, then you only gonna get what you got.
Right.
You need an applause. Go right ahead.
Oh yeah, we don't get an applause.
But look, when I these good paying jobs, it's like HVAC, electrical, plumbing, roofing jobs.
Skills.
Yeah, skill jobs.
Skills.
Computer generated can't do.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna take someone to be able to do it. These jobs are ours, always been ours. We built America. We building the world. But you know the thing about it is we won't take control. Us as blacks, where our problem lies. They're going to take control because you know what's going to end up happening after AI have those jobs. They're going to come for those jobs again. Watch what happens. So they're going to go right back around and resurface those jobs. And here we're going to be sitting again.
Right.
And they're going to take the entertainment from us again.
Right.
Look what's beginning to happen again. Look who's making the most money off of the entertainment again. Look. See?
So yeah, that's one of my biggest goals, or I guess through life, is just trying to upgrade or improve where we at, standing on, like leave it better than I got it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's everything. So hopefully we can figure out all these ways to try to get the black diaspora as a whole, you know, to improve.
That's it.
Pretty much.
That's what we're going to have to do.
Yeah.
My thing,
it's a must.
My thing would be to stop letting them divide us, to get out of the entertainment. And this is the realest conversation you ever gonna hear on the internet. See, they exploit our culture because look, we're gonna have another episode about this too. What is acting black? It seemed like acting ghetto and belligerent and all that stuff. When they say white people acting black or she trying to act black and all that stuff, that means you can't talk, you don't know how to act. I mean, like, what is acting black? Like, have we ever thought about that subconsciously? It's like, what, are we not articulate enough to conversate with the best individuals, with the most collegiate, most prestigious collegiate students in the world? Like, no. Did we not create the colleges and universities that exist? Like, how far have we came to have our culture be scrutinized as a culture, whereas though we're nothing but ruthless thugs, gangsters, ratchet, hoes, and all that other stuff? Like the culture has gotten out of hand, whereas though they gave us that image. And I'm along the lines of things like this. Okay, if we were trying to be gangster and what is a G and all that other stuff, we should change the narrative of what it means to be gangster, just like what it means to be a nigga. Because being a nigga back in the day ain't what it mean today. And we use that amongst each other. Like, think about that psychologically. Yeah. Like, we didn't call each other that back in the day. And I say it, you know what I'm saying? I'm guilty. Yeah. I'm not saying nothing. But look how the tide has turned. Because we wouldn't have called each other that back in the days when they was calling us that, and it was free for them to call us that. We didn't call ourselves that. Now, we done flip the script. They can't say it, and we can say. I mean,
well, that's the other real part I want to bring up too about it, because we do, and giving like our self credit, because there's a lot of like a lot of deep, intricate systems on why we are the way we are when you do the studying. If you want to talk about redlining, all the different opportunities,
Right.
right? So let's not just say it's all fault, and that's why I hate when they say like bring us up by the bootstraps. So that's propaganda,
Right.
right? That's a media narrative that we got to fight. That we don't know who's pushing it out, but that's a national thing.
Right.
It's the same thing how they show all the poverty kids in Africa like 10 cents a day to feed this person, but they got beautiful houses over there. It's a whole
Right.
different system.
Right.
So it's like it's the same thing they do with us because they know the power it is. If you look, the black woman is the most educated woman in America. You know, we all know the accolades. We all know the impact and the stuff in the culture. It's just stop
Absolutely.
feeding into the bullshit. Honestly, I don't know if I can cuss on here, but it's we know who we are.
No, this
You know what I'm
BMore4Real.
saying?
Real.
Yeah, like we know who we are, man, and that's my whole point. And that's something I had to wake up every day. I was kind of forgetting, but just like I was saying, we live in it. Like we know how we are. If we can go through all this trauma and stuff like that, and not feeding into that narrative, and that's why it's important to turn the other cheek and show the right thing and do the right thing to all them other questions I was showing earlier, so
Right.
that you are representative for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we not monolithic. It's not just one type of black person. That's for every race. So it's just us waking up and
Right.
fighting those things every day. Because you know, I'm sitting here with someone you ran for mayor, right? You know what I'm saying? You got a podcast, you DJ, you do other different stuff. So to every individual, no matter what religion, race, or creed, there's always a lot of different stuff to them. But especially black people because of our history and stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And I would say this as well. I would say this as well. Black men, stop looking at each other like we enemies before we friends. Like, stop hating on yourself like that. When you look at another black man, stop looking at them, sizing them up to kill. I mean, these are genetic information. These are genetic defects as well. I mean, because it's not a part of our DNA, but it is a part of our DNA. Like I was talking about that information that's being passed on. Like we, for some reason, for the last few years, for the last few centuries, not for the last few centuries, for the last few decades, excuse me, have noticed that, you know, a black man is killing another black man, but for the white man will, but for the police will. So we automatically gonna look at and size another dude up like black man. Cut it out. This is the reason why the murder rate the way it is, the way that it is because we always look at each other like an enemy before we look at each other as a helper or a mutual friend or with mutual respect. And I would say this: we even would be emotional in the fact that why would you act on emotion when you don't know anybody, when it's not logical to just assume somebody is threatening you without even knowing them. So you don't feel that way about the police. We don't do that to the police as black men.
Yeah.
We don't do that to anybody but ourselves.
But to open the door to that conversation even more, like I said, just to even shoot bail is they throw us and all these, they put us in certain communities on purpose with limited resources. There's studies with rats, like if you don't give them enough cheese, that they kill each other. So
it's the rat king.
It's not even trying it's like not trying to blame each other too much, but really once we, like you said, the literacy, understanding that I don't gotta kill you for these resources. We don't got these resources anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta figure out how to get it together. And I think that's one of the biggest things. I bring up religion and stuff a lot. I'm big on it in God. But one of the biggest things what they were saying was like, you know, if you love God and your neighbor with all your heart, you're doing the right thing. Right. So I think people miss out on the love aspect. If we all loved and looked out for each other, nobody would go hungry, nobody would be homeless and stuff like that. But it's just that aspect. But it's so hard to look past it when you struggling. Don't get me, I know I've been angry. No food. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
that's the test.
It's hard, but you got to get past.
That's
you know what
the
I'm saying?
test.
Like, yeah.
Do you see? That's from me
telling
you as an older man. That's the test.
Yeah.
That's the test that God want to see right there. If you say, God, when you doing it, because that's the test. When you get to that test, it goes to say, what are you truly made of? Right. Who are you? Because you're not going to always be in that situation. God ain't going to allow you to always be into that. But when he wants to see what you made of when you're there. So when that decision come, whatever you do, see, you will be rewarded.
You know how to handle it too now. You know, beforehand asking for it, you ain't know how to handle it if you ain't go through that. Now you more equipped because you didn't been all the way down here.
But look.
So when he bring you up here, you're equipped for it.
If you do what you do, remember, the love of money is the root of all evil. So if you decided that you're going to do something devious to get to that next level, that's the person you become.
Yeah.
Right.
And what you do comes back on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm telling you.
We
So,
start.
you can pick and choose your struggle sometimes. That's what it is. What are you made of? And watch this. Then when you make that decision, you got other people watching you.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what it is. And we need more positive role models as men to look out, because if it was, then it would be more positive things in our community, which it ain't in a community. It's a neighborhood. 'Cause
Right.
they come around, do what they want, roll out again.
Right.
See, that's what we need. It's time for a change. That's why we're going to bring more positive things.
Absolutely.
And this podcast.
Absolutely.
We are.
Absolutely.
We
I
are.
would go as far as to say this, just like I was saying about Brother Ice Cube. You know, we don't all have to agree on the same thing.
Oh, that's another interesting.
Like, yo,
situation.
get behind him. He got a plan for Black America. If we don't put our differences aside to reach a common goal, we'll never reach anything.
What do you think about that? You know much about Ice Cube?
No, so prove me to it. What he got? What's his plan? I thought you was talking about the big three.
Right,
so yeah. So
No, well, he did have the big three,
Yeah.
but he stayed doing things in the community. But Ice Cube
plan?
has a contract with Black America where he wants the respectable. He wants the government to pay like certain restitutions, and they want to iron out the issues that America has with Black people. You know, the issues that we don't address, and he has like a constitution that's very amendable. It's never concrete. It's always
being able to be negotiated,
being able to be refined. But
Yeah.
if that's that contract, whatever's in that contract for that time is binding until it's amended and stuff like that. Like, it's an awesome contract with Black America, because, you know, like, see, I want to deprogram people to what they've been programmed to. See, we all need money and all that stuff. The money is controlled by the banks. The banks had slaves, all of them. J.P. Morgan, Chase, whatever, all of them. And they still are the top banks.
Knowing the history
They
is
still
important.
are the top banks today. So you talking about reparations? Yeah, they owe us. You got daggone it. Bring a white person on the show, bring another Black person on the show that disagree, and let's talk about it. That's how I feel about it. If you got something to say, then say it right in public.
Reparations. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Let's get one of them banks. Let's get 1, 2, 3 of them banks.
And we need to talk about that.
Or this what Ice Cube said in his contracts. The banks automatically owe us 10, 20%. I'm just making a number up, but they automatically owe Black people a certain percentage. They got to give a certain percentage of their money back into the Black communities, like 5%. And like, it don't matter what you earn, 5, whatever. And I can see that. See, it's not like Black power and we're gonna do something.
So what you were saying in
racism.
retort to that, Uncle Wayne? You said it's not. What you were saying to that?
Listen, but it's when it comes to reparations, it's white folks don't owe us the money. It's not actually white. Of course, it was their fault, but you can't go to the white people and say
individually and try to single them out.
Yeah.
See, they don't get that. We know that.
Right. So we actually.
But it is white people behind it. So that's why it's hard for them to understand.
Hey, listen, I agree absolutely. But so that actually should be worked out. That should have been worked out. I don't understand how it's this long.
Well, because we don't advocate. So to answer your question, so that's how I feel like it's a beautiful thing. Like you were saying, all these like narratives and stuff. We don't really have somebody to really speak out. We have like the NAACP and stuff like that.
Right. Another.
You want to know why though too? Because Ice Cube, he actually had meetings with Trump and Tucker Carlson. We brought that up on here as well too. So they like, oh well, you met with Trump, you were Trump supporter. That's why we saying like we the only ones that get down like that. Like, let's be real. Like we divided on every single aspect.
Well, because they know how to control it. They know, look, Black people vote for Democrats. Don't think
they
about
automatically know that.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't even have to work for our vote.
You know what I'm saying?
We need to, and that's where our problem is. As Blacks, we don't have to be Republicans or a Democrat.
Like help us.
Right.
Like if you're not helping us, we're not voting for you. We need to control the power.
We need our own party.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we have to be either or. If we don't stand up and be something we all, because both of those parties were created anyway when slavery was involved. Why do we have to? We need to come together and be real.
I had a thought though about how the system was and how everything is kind of controlled and stuff like that. Why does it? I think even on that level, Americans is taught to divide. It's always You black team, you red team. You this team or you that team. If it's Baltimore Ravens, you Pittsburgh Steelers. Why every time we run in for the betterment of the country is divided into two teams like it's fucking gym class?
Mm-hmm.
I've always
You
thought
feel
about
what
that too.
I just noticed,
I
like,
like
what the
that.
hell? Like, what is going on?
Either one or the other. Why?
Like-
This should be a party, and what do you believe,
Yeah.
and what's your beliefs? I'm gonna vote for you for that's what you believe.
What are you gonna do as a candidate?
Well, see,
party?
we don't look.
Because it doesn't make
A
sense.
lot of things is for sport. That's what competition
Yeah.
is. It's a sport. It wouldn't be a sport if it wasn't sides to be chosen. But life is also like that way, and I do want to exacerbate that point because some people don't think that what they do is freaking wrong, and they don't acknowledge that what they do is freaking wrong because everybody got their own freaking truth. But if that was the truth,
Yeah.
then these got daggone kid lovers and all that stuff, they should be right about what they feel. So look, we
Right.
gotta apply what we know. Even though that crap sound good, everybody don't got their own damn truth. We need a damn code. We need something that we abide by.
Align in the
That's
sand.
what makes us free.
Yeah, align
That's
in
what
the
makes us
sand.
free. Because if I feel like I can just kill you because I'm in my feelings, that shouldn't be right. I mean, like, at what point do the truth cross the
We
boundary
understand
into
we need laws.
a lie?
Right.
We understand laws,
Right.
What's the
correct
steps?
laws, but
Right.
we need to have simple.
The law is the truth. If you steal,
Right.
the
We
law
need
is the
like-
truth. Stealing
like
is
God
stealing. Like, yo,
laws.
it's
You wanna
wrong.
get to something right
It's
next to
wrong.
that,
Don't steal.
Which we should have been anyway.
Mhm.
God laws, which we really should anyway. Real simple. Real simple. But instead, we get so confused on man laws. That's why we all over the place.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why we are in the situation we are now.
And that's why I said
and
we need
black
a code.
men, we really do. First of all, do we have ideology? Do we? I don't
We have our
know.
own different.
for
We got
black
our
men.
own truths. That's what I was talking about. Our
As
own truths,
black men,
our own
do
different
we?
ideologies.
I mean, for us as three black
That-
men here,
that's the-
do we have an ideology? Do we? I really don't even understand. Do we?
I mean, everybody have their own ideology, and that is
It's
true.
it's
That
That's a
is
good
true.
question.
Everybody does have their own ideologies, but it's our ideologies
For one, watch this real quick.
versus reality.
Watch this.
Is the question.
African American or black? That I'm gonna give you a real
We
simple.
neither. We neither. If you
agree?
look-
Some
that's-
people don't even agree on that.
I don't
neither.
either. Yeah.
We neither.
Yeah.
We
See what
neither.
I mean? You
We
can't
neither.
even agree on.
I mean,
that.
literally, we
To
neither.
even
But
get
if
started.
you want to be technical in America, we both.
See what I mean? We can't even.
You understand what I'm saying?
started.
That's how polluted.
That's, why we're the
That's
way
how
we
polluted
are.
the truth has been. And see, I would encourage black people to really and truly know our history. It's a reason why they stripped us of our history and did what they did to the black man. It's a reason why they will not tell us who we are, who our ancestors are, because we don't know, and they've been kept keeping us ignorant. If we read books, I mean, this is why it's important to read. I'm
Some
telling you,
people can't
if you
read.
can, I know some people. We're not talking about
And that's
some
the
people,
systems I'm talking about.
but if the majority of us, enough of us, learn to read, it
Man,
doesn't matter.
We can teach,
It,
but we can
we'll be able to overcome.
But what would you call? See how we
Say it again.
confused,
Speaking to the
man?
mic again.
See how we are confused.
Right.
Who are we? What should we be called to you?
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
What should we be called to you?
That's a good
What
question.
should we, as black people, be called? We should be called by
we
nations
mostly
like other
black,
people.
you just called
Okay,
us.
so I'm glad
We
you.
should be called
I'm
black,
glad you brought that
just
question
said
up. Okay, so look, if we say this man is Irish, right?
Yeah.
He from where?
Ireland,
If we say this man is German, he from where?
Germany,
Okay, he's Swedish. He's from where?
Sweden,
He's Mexican.
Mexico,
He's El Salvadorian.
Salvador,
He's Honduran.
So we
I mean, like,
from America.
we Negroes.
Well, I mean, that's
Okay,
where
Negro.
that's where the
Hold on,
line is-
Negro.
That's where the
Negro.
line is drawn.
Where we from?
It's not gonna
Negro.
make sense.
Where? We African American. Where?
So are you saying
Where?
we're American?
Did you just say what I
We're
just said? Look,
we're just
you would say this man is
so
Italian.
all of us Americans.
You would
just
say,
American.
look, we would even say, look, this man Nigerian. This man is Cambodian. This man is Ugandan.
Well, I think that's where we differ from in a lot of different races, right? So different races is like genres. Like they have their overall thing and then you have their territories. But I feel
Right.
like especially in America, it's like a melting pot, right? Some of us were enslaved, so we don't know our history, right?
Mhm.
Some of us might have came from Jamaica or Haiti, but no matter what, when you here or no matter where you go, you're treated the same. So I feel like it's like just one group, and it don't matter if you call us Black, African Americans. African Americans is more for U.S. Citizens that's Black, but the Black man around the world is mistreated no matter what. So I just think that we should just all identify
that part.
If you Haiti and you standing next to me and I'm just a regular U.S. citizen, they ain't gonna tell the difference. You know, you still niggas, so it's like don't even worry about trying to split it up and figure it out.
That's what I was saying.
So,
you know, Jay-Z said that house nigga, Phil nigga, rich nigga, poor nigga, still nigga.
You feel what I'm saying?
Wait a minute.
We don't operate like that.
Now that's a difference.
We don't.
Now that's the difference.
It is still
a house nigga, a field nigga, but you better not be a bitch ass nigga. That's a true difference.
It's also important though to note though that even our fellow African people, they'll say, like I said, he's South African, he's Kenyan, you know what I'm saying? He's Congo, whatever it is for the
Congolese.
Yeah, Congolese. You know what I'm saying?
But it's time for us to at least
we
find out what we need.
That's what I mean.
Called.
Like we don't know our nationality. How can we possibly know where we're going as a people if we don't know where we come from? See, that's what Marcus Garvey was saying. He said a person. What did he say? Basically paraphrasing, a person without a past is like a tree without roots. If you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going. I mean, like, seriously.
Do you know a lot of people don't even know Harriet Tubman? They don't even understand the Underground Railroad.
Right.
What you mean?
I'm telling you.
Just in general, it's just that it exists
really
and everything.
Think the Underground Railroad
was like a train track underground?
Right.
Oh.
Because they're not being taught honestly. And it's sad.
Right.
See what I mean?
Well,
not being taught.
They have dumbed down the American public quite considerably. There are people out here that cannot name states. They don't know all states. I seen them a few years ago ask a lot of NFL players, like, what state is Baltimore in? And a lot of them didn't even know. And then these are NFL players, and they come out of college drafted. I'm like, sheesh, that's a mean slap, though. And they wasn't all black. You know what I'm saying? You know, the NFL got black, white people. It got people from all over the world in there. But for me, it's crazy.
States. I think that's so irrelevant.
But it's basic though.
Capitals of all those things are irrelevant. You know what they need to be learning about finances.
That's the most important.
Yeah,
thing.
Most important.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Imagine they learning the finances just because that should be the most important in their life, but they don't have no idea.
The city is definitely not important, but I was figuring you should know where you are at the very least. You know what I'm saying? Where you are in the world. It's people that can't name country. They can't tell you where a country is at in the world because we're not even traveled or anything. They can't they can't even tell you where a country is.
A lot of people haven't never even traveled outside of the city when you talk to them a lot, and that makes a difference too. So it's like
Baltimore, it is terrible. Like, they ain't even like half of them don't even leave the neighborhood.
Right.
They go downtown and they think they've been somewhere. That's why they act up when they get down there.
Right. So just literacy, seeing more things, all open your mind to different things. If you only seeing certain things, like Uncle Wayne's point, being perpetuated, that's what you gonna do, right? But if you see people doing different things, I'm sure my nephew or somebody that's seen me do these showcase or do these podcasts gonna follow in my footsteps. So that's the whole point. Mm-hmm. Even if I don't make it to the mountaintop, there's somebody else that's gonna pick it up. So you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
that's what I said they gonna hear. Yeah.
Them haters always there when the sun's shining. That's why they call shadow people. When the sun's shining, they out. You know what I'm saying? But in your darkest moments, your shadow not there. You know what I'm saying? These shadow people. But don't worry about it. We support you, man, wholeheartedly, man.
Supporting.
Again, man, we just want to bring up this flyer again, man. Make sure y'all support him on his mission. We know it's tomorrow, but there'll be more to come.
For sure. And make sure that it's in collab with the BMore4Real podcast. I appreciate y'all taking the time to do it a day before the show.
Absolutely.
Everything you got. I'm going to make sure that people subscribe to this podcast.
We're going to run it all day,
we appreciate
the rest of the night and all day tomorrow until the show pops up.
Yes, sir.
And are you guys still doing y'all events at the space, or what? Do y'all want to promote that or not? Yeah, okay.
We had a little technical difficulty.
Got you.
So we had to shut our Monday night mic, open mic down.
Hey, but we got a lot of good stuff on the way. Yeah, so I can't.
Some other events coming up.
Yeah, but make sure y'all tap in with BigDawg Deion. You know what I'm saying? It's BigDawg Entertainment. So, I mean, we appreciate you for stopping by the cast and having a real conversation. I mean, anybody that can stop through the cast gonna have a real conversation. We gonna chop it up. I mean, it's BMore4Real. It's BMore4Real. And I mean, like, it's amazing to see what you got going on. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? We want to give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? You are a king, and you move like a god in this world. You know what I'm saying?
Same, man.
Real talk.
I watch a lot of y'all episodes. I always tell y'all, like, I watched the episode The Bridge Got Knocked Down. So I'm a real fan of the show. So make sure y'all subscribe. They really have real conversation, bring real people up here, from political pundits to artists to DJs to producers. This is BMore4Real. It's your one hub for everything and all information. I do think they're the leader of the new school when it comes to this media, especially in Baltimore. I don't see too much.
You know, rated off for reality. Big bars. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. And you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. And see, you know, we still on the rise. We on the road to 1K. You better believe that.
And then some.
You better believe that. We on that road to 1K. And man, if y'all don't know, it's BigDawg, Deion in the building, but it's BMore4Real. Get your weekly dose of reality, man. I am your co-host, OMG Danny.
I am Uncle Wayne.
Let's go. BigDawg Deion, BigDawgDeion on all platforms.
Yes, sir. And we're out.
Hey, thanks for joining.